Hi, class. Today we're going to talk about the midterm presentation on Mrs. Fratelli's case study. So, the main thing about Mrs. Fratelli's case study is that it involved a lot of childhood development topics. So, with Mrs. Fratelli and her students, specifically Carla and Will, a lot was brought up with nurture. So, as we've seen, nature is inherited characteristics, and then nurture is environmental conditions that affect growth of the student. So both students in this scenario are lacking in nurturing in their home life and neighborhood. Will is lacking in being nurtured with food availability and malnutrition, whereas Carla is not being appropriately nurtured by way of socioeconomics and not getting the resources that she needs for learning. Second, behaviorism. So advocates of behaviorism propose that developmental change is largely due to environmental influences, which is obviously nurture, and then B.F. Skinner, he said that children actively work for rewards. So obviously, like I said, both students are lacking in nurture influences and self-efficacy, and overall environmental stimuli. Teachers really need to communicate high expectations to their students in order for them to succeed, and especially children from low income families. They really need this extra support and their teachers to cultivate their unique talents and then supplement it with the knowledge that they need to succeed. In Mrs. Fratelli's classroom, both students could benefit from rewards and punishments. Third, guided participation. So, this is in which a child engages in everyday adult tasks, and parents really support the children's learning. So, children gain confidence in their ability to do tasks for the learning of similar tasks. So, there doesn't seem to be any guided participation in Carla or Will's home life. The parents aren't really there. It seems like, as we said, the nurturing isn't there. So it's hard for them to succeed in school when their past experiences aren't that great. Family income. So academic demands of school, they these students that are in poverty, they really benefit from having teachers that are, like I said, supportive, set clear expectations, and make a great environment in the classroom. Mrs. Fratelli is not really setting clear expectations for behavior. She kind of lets whatever happen. And she doesn't create a warm and safe environment for the students in her classroom. And also, she's just not really putting together lessons that are interesting to the students that she has. So, stepping into Carla, she's a student that reads fast and clearly gets bored with the current literacy assignments. And she exhibits other issues as well. So to get Carla to flourish in the classroom, Mrs. Fratelli needs to switch up a bit of her learning strategies. First, physical development. So it is said that Carla, she is obese, she moves around a lot, can't really sit still. So to help this, she needs to create learning experiences that get the students up and engaging with one another and moving around. Second of all, she needs to focus a lot on biological development for Carla. So, creating good habits and helping her create these good habits, not only with exercise inside and outside of the classroom, but eating healthy. Second, Maslow's hierarchy. So, Carla is getting stuck in the health and resources section, so she can't go up that hierarchy. Emotional stress comes from these needs not being met. So, Carla needs regular check ins with Mrs. Fratelli. She needs to know that she has a mentor in her teacher that can help her through this, that gets her health and resources fulfilled within the classroom so she can move up the hierarchy. And then interested in arts. Clearly, Carla's interested in drawing. So we need to put in some of those drawing and artistic abilities into activities that will get Carla interested in actually completing and working on the activities. And lastly, cognitive challenges. So focusing on Bloom's taxonomy, she clearly reads well. What can help her to develop that reading? What can help her um, understand the reading, comprehend what she's reading, comparing and contrasting to other books? So, Bloom's taxonomy focus on the understanding portion. Use verbs as summarize, interpret, compare, and contrast. And then also put her in a higher reading group. Assess her. She's most likely in the Lions reading group, whereas right now she is in the lowest one. And lastly, let's go to Will. So with Will, he is lacking in his literacy skills, but he's also acting out. A few things that he needs are to be seen, advocated, and supported. He really needs to know that he has a community here that helps him, especially with Mrs. Fratelli. She needs to engage with motivation, rewarding him when he does even the smallest things, increasing in his literacy skills. And then she needs to punish him when he's acting out. It is not helping him by just ignoring when he's throwing papers on the ground. Second of all, activities involving music. I've said it before, but students get motivated when they have something they're interested in. So have activities that involve music in some way for Will. Again, behaviorism, rewarding, like I said previously. There are no rewards for him, no punishments. He needs to be held accountable for his work, and then also accountable for when he's acting out. This will increase his motivation to learn if he has rewards, and hopefully he can gain some self-confidence as he's learning more and gaining his academics towards literacy. And lastly, social interaction. It was said that he wants to engage with students, but is shy, doesn't really know how. So have activities where students are engaging with one another. So it forces Will to be outside of his comfort zone and interacting with the students around him. Overall, Mrs. Fratelli needs to take into account the current and needed development of all of her students so that they will and can succeed in her classroom. Thank you.